Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and it's Let's Talk NUFC. And tonight I'm joined by Pete. How are you, Pete?
Not bad, Tony.
Yeah, not too bad. Hope you're enjoying your holidays there, and hope the
It's
weather's
canny.
been kind to you as well.
It's
Yeah,
been really poor the day, unfortunately.
has it? Not what you want, is it? But
No, definitely not.
no, not at all. Right, guys and girls, before we do delve into tonight's show, please don't forget, if you do like what you see, then please do smash the like. It does help the channel. This is stream shared on Pete's channel as well, so if you'd like to do it on both channels, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come be part of this great community. Help the channel grow. It is free to do so. And also hitting the bell tells you when I'm live. Have a pre-recorder when the upcoming shows. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in chat. Click on the dollar sign. All money reinvested back into the channel as well. Currently, as it stands at the moment, it's Scotland 0, Poland 1. Scotland had a goal ruled out for a handball after VAR intervened in the Nations League. So, yeah, so Scotland losing at the moment in time. If Ian Fleming's in the chat, I'm very sorry, Ian, they're losing to Poland. Right, I'll jump into some comments first before we get into the nitty-gritty. Brian says, even Tony and Pete, I give myself a little pat on the back this morning because everything that I've been saying for 2 seasons now has become true. Eddie Howe, Andy Howe has too much power. Do you know what, Brian? You're absolutely spot on, mate. He says, for him to say we want to agree or go with the current squad has to be mad. Right from Mitchell mouth, we are currently one injury away from a disaster. We ain't playing well, and you know that. You know what? Do you know what it is? I agree. We're not playing well. I know we're grinding out the results, and we are. You're absolutely right. We are an injury away from a disaster. Absolutely. What do you reckon to that, Pete? Do you think he's right?
Well, we're definitely not playing well at all. We really, really know we aren't. But the injuries, I dread to think what could happen if we get more injuries again, like we did last season. Oh boy, depends on which position it is. If it's at the
Brian's
centre
on it.
backs,
Yeah.
if it's at the centre backs, for God.
Brian's really on it tonight. He said, I couldn't give 2 figs if either I get sacked or leaves for the England job. But you can tell this, Mitchell, and how relationship is only going to go one way. Yeah, well, we're going to delve into it, Brian, and he's got another post in as well. Put it this way, Trippier, we could have sold him, but the manager wants him to stay. Miggy, Target, Wilson, the list goes on. We could have used that money without selling our big hitters. Do you know what it is, Brian? I agree to an extent. I mean, look, yes, we probably could have sold Trippier on. I mean, there's still talks of Saudi and Turkish clubs looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if Galatasaray or Fenerbahce come in for him, he might want to go because they're in European competition. So, look, again, we'll have to wait and see. But you're right. I mean, look, we could have got rid of Target on deadline day, apparently Fulham and Leicester, but apparently we kept him. So I don't know why, when he's on 100 grand a week, get rid. Clue DZ says, Pete, hope you're good, mate.
Yeah.
Evening, Tony says, BF Aiken, good evening. Yes, Isak scored 2 for Sweden tonight against Azerbaijan.
Hopefully that gets him going, because again, Sweden went in the Euros and he only played a bit of pre-season.
Yeah, he had 5 shots on the total, 11 shots, 5 on target, 5 times possession, 1, 4 duels, 1, 2 dribbles completed, 2 goals scored, 1 penalty, 1. Let's hope now his confidence is up now. That'll be great. Washing his hair again, says Andrew. Evening, lads, says Martin. Good evening, you.
You'll be well, Martin.
I'll read lads and lasses, absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Julie. Hope you're well.
Well, Julie.
Evening, PD. And Tony says, Wacky Angler. Good evening to you, mate.
Well, Wacky.
Julie saying good evening. The sheep. Yeah, absolutely, Julie, the sheep.
Good evening, Carl, as well.
Yeah. Lee says, evening, Tony and Pete. How's everyone? How's your day been? Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. He's on his jollies. Evening all, says Joe. Good evening, Joe. Hope you're well, mate.
Well, Joe.
Few good players out there on free contracts, absolutely, Lee. Absolutely, mate. Especially like Rabiot as well. What Yangler says, no Premier League have let Chelsea hotel deal go through. I've got a feeling rules will be changed
I
again.
heard about that, yes.
We were forced to sell players when we shouldn't have.
Well, we did, yeah, 2 of them.
Brian says, how's the Caravan Club going? Pete, got any lasses in there?
Oh, God. No. It's been great for the 5 day, coming up to 5 days, but definitely not the other one you mentioned, Brian. Well, it's been really poor the day, I can tell you that.
Yeah, now it's September, the weather goes downhill, doesn't it? So that's
Oh,
what's like, isn't
no.
it? It's just
Summer's
bloody
about going.
ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. Right, okay, so as we're talking, we're going to talk Newcastle United news. And look, we're going to start off with the big one, and that is this man, Paul Mitchell. There he is there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to delve in to what he's actually had to say. And then I'm going to ask you for your opinion on this as well, Pete. Right. So obviously we know he's done an interview. Now they've asked Mitchell what his reflections was about the transfer window. Now Paul Mitchell says, "Look, I think it's difficult coming into a predefined strategy. Football clubs do have a strategy. It is pre-planned for a long period of time before just the 1st of July. It's not longer ad hoc and just thinking on your feet. I don't think that it goes on at this level. It definitely doesn't go on here. You look how methodical our head coach is. I think you have to look at us as a business and how we are evolving. We have plans, we have strategies. My learning coming in a pre-arranged existing strategy is hard. You ultimately then find yourself supporting on things more than driving elements of it. That's me, for me, was a learning curve. So, I mean, what he's saying there is, because it was predefined when he came in, the strategy was already there. And he's had to sort of like adjust to that.
He's had to go on what has already been gone on board.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. I mean, what he's just with what he said there about it being difficult coming into this sort of strategy. Do you think that's been the strategy because Eddie Howe's got a lot of say in transfers?
Could well be by the looks of it. Well, him and Andy, is it Andy Howe?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they've had too much say on transfers, then something needs to change about that. Oh God, Brian, cracking! It's a cracking program though. The In-Betweeners, I've got to admit. So,
Yeah.
but
says, as I say, when the caravan is rocking, don't knock on the door.
Yeah, but I mean, something's got to change because they all need to come together now. So Eddie Howe, Andy Howe, Paul Mitchell, Eels in a way as well. Even though I've said I'm having second thoughts about the guy if he forced Amanda Amir out at the football club. But yeah, we need something to change because you could tell we needed players in that transfer window, and we haven't got them.
Yes.
So something's got to be worked on now. Yeah, and they've got to come together now to make sure we do something for January, because that is, we're going to have to go in for players in January, no doubt about that.
Thing is, whatever happens, Eddie Howe's got to start adjusting himself and learning now, because that's the problem, Eddie Howe. He's too stubborn, too stuck in his ways. So anyway, Mitchell was then asked, you could say there's only been one guaranteed first team starter to arrive in the last 3 windows. He then says, I haven't tracked back to see who we signed or where. I've just kind of been looking at the 2.5 year period because I do like to look in cycles of 3. But I think if you look at where we've placed our investment, we've placed that between performance players and young players as well. So what he's saying there is, like, obviously performance players is like of Tonali, you know, Isak, Bruno, but like young players coming in like Lewis Hall, Tino Livramento, To me, he's obviously hasn't tracked all the way back to see who we have got in that, but it does seem like he's very, very particular in the way he does things. And just before I go any further, Poland do have a penalty. We'll tell you if this happens to go in the back of the net or not. Robert Lewandowski is ready to take it now. He's missed one in the Euros, but he got retaken one and he scored with that. So is he going to be Angus Gunn from 12 yards today? We'll find out in just a moment.
Probably will do.
He's taking a few deep breaths. Still breathing. Still giving a few deep breaths out there. Blowing hard, and he's stepping up, jiggling his run, and he scores. He sends Gunn the wrong way. So that's 2-0 Poland now at Hampden Park. I mean, look, it's a strange strategy he's walking into, isn't it, Pete? I mean, what do you think what he said there about, that there's only been one guaranteed first team starter in the last 3 windows? What do you think about that?
I think he's quite spot on there. You've got to say. He really, really has. I mean, look at the plus windows. The window we've had, there's no regular first. There's definitely no first team starters in the window we got. We didn't sign anyone the last January. Just mentioned the previous one. Before that was Tonali. That was definitely would have been the guaranteed starter. Barnes is probably starting to become that now, I would say. In a way. Lewis Hall, I'm going to add him in there as well. And you could say, you probably would say Livramento. Well, he's been getting the chance. He's been getting the starts now in the Premier League. So there's a few, you can see there's got to be a few more in there, but there's more that's needed. I mean, we could have done with another centre-back. I know Cher's not getting any younger now. Unfortunately. Yeah. Right-sided, it's always been between Murphy or Miggy. We've had that problem for some time now. Why didn't we address that? Although I've said the attacking 3 now should be Barnes, Gordon, and Isak. I think Gordon should stop playing that role more now. He can play there. We've seen him do it before. Because I think Barnes deserves more of an opportunity now this season. Because I'm getting bored with Miggy and Murphy every time now. I really am.
I mean, thing is, Pete, we were concentrating far too much on Mark Gui, and that's the problem.
We've wasted so many days on that, and look what's happened. As
soon as
Steve Parish was keep password from pillar to post, we should have just walked immediately. Third bid, should have walked immediately. There could have been someone abroad way cheaper than that who could just be good as Gui.
I mean, the thing is, there was players out there. Simikin, he went to Saudi for 42 million. Exactly. We could have had him.
Plus, if we got Gui, I know I might sound a bit over the top here, but see if we got Gui in for a lot of money we paid. What if it turns like a Harry Maguire at Man United? Again, am I being over the top there? Because because in a way, look how many defenders we've seen go to other clubs for very, very high value, and then they're not having justified their price tag.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Matt Young, that's his goal for Hummer, so if he's still available, he was out of contract. I think. Is that Mario Hermoso? If it is, he's gone to Roma, but if that is him, I'm not sure. That must be.
He has gone to Roma. 29 years of age he is.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one I'm looking at now, yeah, he's at Roma. So, no, he's not available, unfortunately, as a free option. But, you're absolutely right. I'm just going to go on to the... I mean, look, the Mark Gui thing, we should have walked away.
Should have.
I was never convinced why we were even going to go and pay, like, 70 million for a player that was only worth about 30 million quid. Let's be honest. And
exactly. Plus, it was
they talked about going back in January. I hope not. I really do hope not.
Plus, the reason they kept bumping the price tag up is because Steve Parish, Crystal Palace, no intention of selling him.
No, he just wanted us to walk away. That's what he was trying to do. And we wasted far too much time on that, too much energy. And then on the final day of the window, we tried to sign Elanga for 35 and 50 million pound bids, and for them both rejected. And it seemed to me like it was a panic signing to get somebody through the door. So the fans were thinking, oh, great, we've signed somebody on transfer day and we've got a right winger. But, to be honest
again, why did we do that on the last day? We could have tried Elanga way earlier in the window. Is it because, well, if there's true that they wanted a player and returned, we could have given them Miguel Almiron, unless they might have said no to Miguel Almiron, but I don't know.
Should have got rid.
I mean, Almiron's a player we needed rid of.
Yes, absolutely. So he was asked if it was a bad transfer window. Mitchell says, well, my job is to get us in 5 years' time to our ambition. Once again, I have to weigh up the pros and cons of the short-term nature of performances today and tomorrow in the Premier League while we enable us to get our 5-year objective. He says, we didn't have the sales window we thought we would have had, and we have to look at the strategy as well. Was that right? It was all aligned with the head coach. We have to look at. We have a lot to look at. So in that bit there, he's saying the strategy was aligned with the head coach. So what he's saying is it was down to Eddie Howe, this. When you look at how teams are built, if you on average recruit 6 players in a 3-year cycle and you get to 18, that's a squad. When you look back retrospectively, that's your impact. That's what we're trying to do with this squad now. I think we forget the quality of the team we've got. The training ground is a ghost town, and that's what you want it to be. It means we've got really good players participating in international football, and that's the level and status of this club. So basically what he's saying there is, he's got a 5-year project, yeah? And obviously we want to be elite. And what he's doing is he's saying that the strategy is, was that right to have it aligned with the head coach? So in other words, he's saying, was it right that Eddie Howe had as much say in the transfers as he should have had? What do you think?
Someone should have been working more closely with Eddie Howe with the transfers, because just if Eddie Howe's come out and said you just want a gay only, I mean, come on. We needed the position strengthened. We needed a right winger. Eddie's got to... It's like he was putting all of his eggs on to try and get one player.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. No, when we need other players. I mean, I'm still going to give back Eddie out the chance for this season, but he's got to start learning that we need more players in the side to chance if we want a chance for Europe or something this season. We need to build that squad, and when January comes, we're going to have to really get down to work in the transfer window. The money is there. We know it's there. If we're going to try and bid 75 million for Gay, just shows there is money there to be spent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the club, he was asked, did the club miss out on the player they wanted? And Mitchell said, look, we looked at the window. There were targets. Could there have been more? I would say potentially. Do we have to look at the way we recruit and scout? And also, do we have to look where we do? Because the market is complicated. We have seen the impact of PSR has had. I don't think anyone understands the impact of PSR would have on people's strategies and abilities to spend. I think there has been a 40% less expenditure. What do you learn in Europe if no one spends money? Players struggle to move. Finances fund the market and fluidity of movement. That also has an impact for everyone. You look at the money we've invested up to this point, £250 million net over the last 2.5 years. It's a lot of money. And was our model in place to be able to spend more to the levels we would have liked to keep enhancing the team? I don't think it was, because we haven't sold a player during that time, borrowing what we were forced to do through legislation of PSR. So what he's saying there, basically, is it's the fluidity of movement as well, and the lack of movement in Europe as well as a whole. But we've got to look at the way we recruit and scout. So what he's saying is the way we're scouting. So maybe this is a dig at the scouting team. Maybe the scouting team needs to be upgraded.
Well,
yeah,
we've just appointed 2 new people, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. And he says, if you look at when he says the money we've invested, 250 million net over 2.5 years, it's a lot of money. But we haven't sold a player. So what he's trying to say there is, apart from obviously Isak, Gordon, and Bruno, who in that team can we sell that would generate money to help the club fund for more players? And you're talking i.e. players that you can sell on for, say, maybe 20 million, 25 million quid.
Yep.
Is there anybody really in that squad apart from the ones we know, maybe Tonali, maybe Botman as well, so take them out the equation. But other than that, is there anybody else in that team who we can actually get good money for? And you look at it and you think, I don't think so. Callum Wilson's injury prone, and if he had have moved on in the summer before his injury, then you might have scraped 15 million maybe for him. I don't think you might have got 20 million. Longstaff, he's out of contract next year. Why didn't, yes, I know he's had a good start to the season, but if somebody had come in and offered 15 million, you maybe take it because it's 100% profit as well. So if your profit and sustainability goes up, there's things like that. And I can see where he's coming from on that one. And then the next question he's asked, which incorporates with this one, is, are you looking for a big sale to be able to fund again? And he says, look, I think it's, at the moment, we got to balance out the aggregate, because at the moment it's like 100 to 0. And I think we've got to find our position in the market where both of them attribute and feed each other, because every other club does that. Sometimes I think people get confused with big clubs don't sell players. They just buy players from the smaller clubs. And I think there's a lot of good learnings in Liverpool's practice.
Mm-hmm.
Even this year, if you look at what Liverpool did, I don't think they lost a big player, but they did sell Fabio Carvalho at 25 million. And they did do the centre-back Van den Berg at 25 million. So that's £50 million. And then you can fund a big one yourself. Mm-hmm. So there has to be a more balanced approach. There has to be a more balanced model. And there definitely has to be a more strategic approach here that we haven't had in the last 2.5 years. So basically, what he's actually saying there is Liverpool sold Carvalho and Van den Berg for £50 million combined. And that enabled them to go out and, look, we know they only brought Chiesa in. They got Chiesa for, next to nothing, 10 million plus 2.5 million add-ons, 10 million up front. And as much as people say about Chiesa having an injury with history or whatever, injury problems or whatever, and I don't know what he's on at Liverpool, by the way, but look, I would have been happy if Newcastle had gone in and got him for 10 million quid. Let's be honest. Look, we'll just have to wait and see.
Plus, where does he fit in at Liverpool now? He's not going to get ahead of Salah, is he?
No, he's not. No, he'd be a bench player. So it's an interesting one, that one. But he's right what he's saying there. And that's the problem. If you take out Bruno, Isak, Tonali, Gordon, Botman, who in that squad, obviously apart from Livramento and Hall as well, but who, and Harvey Barnes maybe, who else in that squad have we got that you could sell for 25 million quid?
Oh, Lord, now is
Mickey worth 25 million? No, not at all.
Not now. Share's not that much. He's been fantastic for us, but he's 32. He's not going to be worth that much now. Jamal Lascelles, no, absolutely not. Longstaff, definitely not. Murphy, definitely not now.
No.
I think you're right, Tony. Ones apart from the ones you've just mentioned who are probably going to be worth that. There's no one worth around about the 20 million mark.
And look, and it's not me having a go at the likes of Miggy. So if people think I'm having a go at Miggy, I'm not. But the likes of Miggy, look, he's been great. He's been good for us at times. But I think the time now is he should have moved on in the summer. He should have been sold, because at the end of the day, he isn't going to be the type of player that will be taking us to the elite level. We've got to stop bringing youngsters through the academy, and we need to bring youngsters in who can take us to that next level. You look at, okay, we sold Minty and we sold him for £33 million to Brighton, or 30 million quid, whichever it was, 30 million, I think it was. But if you look at Minty, we signed him for 5 million quid last season from Odense, and then we sent him on loan, and he had a great season on loan at Feyenoord, come back, and we had to sell him. Now, if you think back to when ESM was at the club, and I know that's going back a long while now, Alan St. Maximum, that's a name out of the blue, isn't it? But look, if you look back at the Saint, what he'd done was, at the time when he was going to move to Saudi Arabia, although he didn't want to leave Newcastle United, but he realised he realised for the benefit of the club and to help the club out in the PSR situation, he knew he had to move on. Now, he had his head screwed on and he moved on.
Yep.
And I applaud Maxi for that. He'd done a lot of great things when he was at Newcastle United.
Yes, he was very well adored, but he understood the situation, and our fans understood the situation as well.
And like Colton says there, like last January, when we could have got rid of Miggy and he didn't want to go, he refused to move, and he says Miggy's being selfish. That's what I'm talking about, because look, players need to take a leaf out of St. Maximum's book. As I say, the lad didn't want to leave Newcastle, but he had to leave because he knew it was for the good of the club, for the FFP and PSR situation. So that's why he moved on. And, as much as Mickey doesn't want to leave the club, there's going to come a time when he has to leave the club.
He has to, because he's not getting really in that strong lineup now, is he?
No, not at all. No, absolutely not.
Even Murphy's ahead of him.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. I'm just going to nip into some comments here a minute and then see what people are saying. David says, hi David, by the way, he says, all elite clubs have a director of football and a coach. Eddie can spit his dummy out and coach the Eagles with England, or knuckle down under a modern successful elite structure to win titles. Do you know what? Well said, David, absolutely. Look, do you see Jose Mourinho complain about this? No. Do you see Pep Guardiola complain? No. Do you see Arteta complaining? No. This is exactly what I'm saying. Carlo Ancelotti, he doesn't complain. K88 says, hi mate, by the way, he says Ronaldo scored his 900th career goal tonight. Wow. Some record that, isn't it? Just absolutely. Guys on Duracell, I think. Scotland has a good squad, says Brian, but it's definitely not Euros or World Cup standard.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not him,
Lee says we could have had 2 players for 75 million. Carl says Parish was on a power trip. Absolutely, mate. Paying big money doesn't guarantee the player will settle and fit in. Absolutely.
Absolutely, said Harry Maguire to Man United. It hasn't worked out. Mm-hmm.
It's bound to be players in January that are in last season for grabs. Yeah, possibilities. Brian says, problem is, and Mitchell even said it, they did look at other players, but Howe didn't want them. It was Gui or nothing. Yeah, and look, we thought that was just maybe Craig Hope playing devil's advocate, but look at it, the more it's coming out now, the more it seems to be that way. Can't tell me Gui is worth more than we paid for Botman. Sorry about that. Yeah, absolutely. He's not. No chance. Hope Palace struggle with FFP and PSR now, and nobody deals with them because of their snide behaviour. Absolutely well said.
That would have helped them with their FFP as well.
Big up Tony and Peter says, Mick, big up to you. He says, all in the chat, I think we will batter Wolves and Fulham, and then it could be a title decider against City.
Wolves, I can see us winning quite comfortably. I know I've got a good record, but Wolves are poor now this season. They've got rid of 2 good players in Kilman and Nettle. So that's really...
I just want to see a better performance, because
I believe
in the games we've played, I have not seen a great performance out of any of those games. And I mean...
Fulham, they're not a bad side at all, but We've got a good record at Craven Cottage as of late. Speaking of Craven Cottage, unfortunately, it's not third time lucky I'm going there. Unfortunately, this time.
Oh, no.
Didn't win the ballot, unfortunately, for this one, but never mind.
Hi to you, Colton. He says, hi, Tony and Peter. Julie says, I said before, the buck stops with Eels. He's the CEO. He's the one who's supposed to sort out the issues. Bang heads together.
Good point there, Julia. Well, where's he been? Apart from singing in the stack.
Yeah. David says, Mitchell and Eels will demand signing younger players from the continent and South America for vastly lower fees. And at A, stubborn how who would like it or lump it, Eddie. England awaits, mate. Mick says Mitchell's only stayed in the job no longer than 3 years. Yeah, we know he has, but maybe he's got something different going on here. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
we'll see. We definitely need a forward partnership in case of injuries to Isak. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm gutted why Oscilla's not getting any minutes. Because
I can't understand
Isak's looking on his game. If Isak's not looking on his game, you either put a partnership or you take him off. And I'm just, why isn't Oscilla getting any? Even though if he might be third choice striker, but give the guy an opportunity.
Colton says that he needs to train the players. He's not a manager; he's a coach. He's a head coach. Absolutely.
I don't get the head coach. I think Eddie's more of a manager than a head coach. I must admit. I don't know why.
Lots of Toon players come to the end of contracts, so we'll probably leave freeze. That won't help FFP much.
We'll get some off the wage bill, I suppose.
Yeah, where's my massive new shiny stadium, Mr. Eels? Why are most Toon fans locked out and cannot see their heroes? Gary D says, good evening, lads. In my eyes, Eddie needs to kick up the backside. Good evening, Gary D. Well said, mate. Sold 2 kid players and kept shite, not progress, says Andrew. I mean, look, I was on Harry's channel last night and doing the Premier League review. Scotland have pulled a goal back through Billy Gilmore.
Oh.
So it's 2-1 now to Poland after 46 minutes. But I think there must be a VAR check. I think. So if this one gets Billy Gilmore smelling, so if this gets choked off, then Scotland have really had that bad look. No, it's been given. VAR's given it, so there we go. It's 2-1 now. Game on. Yeah, so yeah. I can't remember what I was saying now because I got mixed with the Scotland game. I lost my train of thought there, guys, but yeah. Oh yes, so like I see, I was on Harry's channel, last night, yes, on Harry Scarfs, and there was a Nottingham Forest fan on. So I asked him, I said, what was his thoughts on Elliot Anderson? And he says Elliot Anderson is a very, very good player, and he's so happy that Forest have got him from us. And he's so glad that we got Vlachodimos as well.
That one still baffles me, Vlachodimos. Surely there could have been someone else out there side that could help, that could have solved the PSR situation.
But you see, what gets me, Pete, this is another thing. Again, does this fall on Eddie Howe again, on wanting to buy English or players in the English leagues? We looked at Trafford at the start of this window. Then apparently in the last week of the window, we were back in for him again, right? Now they were wanting close to 30 million because they've got a sell-on clause, Man City. So obviously whatever Burnley sell him for, they have to pay Man City something back. Now then, this is where my point gets with Eddie, and I want to know people's thoughts in the chat as well. Now, go back and look at Forest. They signed a goalkeeper from Corinthians in Brazil, and Foxy's been in the chat and he said this once before. Yeah, Corinthians were really angry at this deal going through to Forest. Now, Forest met the release clause of 3.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. 3.4 million pounds for Carlos Miguel, who was 25 years of age, 6'8". He was a unit against us. You know, he saved Joe Linton's penalty. I thought he had a pretty good game for Forest after his shaky start. He calmed down and look, I thought he was really good. Now then, my argument is we're looking at buying someone like Trafford for like 20 million quid. But then you've got someone like Miguel you could have had for 3.4 million, which is a pittance really compared to what you pay for goalkeepers. So again, is this down to Eddie Howe yet again? again, not wanting to buy not wanting to go abroad and buy players, and rather buy players overpriced in the English league, because that's what it is to me. I would have quite loved to have seen Carlos Miguel as number 2 to Nick Pope, because the way he played against us, he would have been the safe keeper to have in the cups. And I think even if he gets in, if Matt Sells gets injured or whatever for Forest, and he comes in, I think he'll keep his place in our Forest team, because I think he's got something about him. I don't know about you, Peter. And getting the chat involved, do you think that's what we should be doing, looking at players like that? Because why is it everybody else goes in these South American leagues? Like, if you look at Brighton, who they signed, Caicedo, 4 million quid, sold him to Chelsea for over 115 million quid. This is what we need to be doing. And that's where, if you go in and buy these players and then you sell them on for big fees, this is where the money comes in more.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So what about you, Pete? I mean, look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you agree with what I'm saying there about Carlos Miguel? Do you think it's because Eddie Howe's wanting the trusted English league players rather than looking abroad?
We should be looking abroad.
Is it the fact that Eddie can't train people from abroad? Is that what the problem is?
Shit, but he's training like the likes of players who've gone abroad, surely. We need to start looking more abroad, because some of these Premier League players are too way overpriced.
Yeah,
but that's a good one. Brian just made that.
Yeah, it's all about player trading. I look at them, blame the fat twat, our past owner, for putting these on ridiculous contracts and money. Absolutely.
And shite direct all over the ground without any income coming from it.
Yeah, Willock's worth more than 25 million. Yeah, absolutely.
And looking at very cheap, tacky sponsor deals like Castoria wasn't a lot. I don't think Kayak was a lot when we first had them as the sleeve sponsor. I know Funny 88 wasn't a lot as well.
Funny 88, I think, was 2.5 million a season.
Again, that's
nothing. Steve Bruce took his first training session at Blackpool. Players looked disgusted.
I just don't get why the Blackpool have gone and approached him.
No, I don't either.
A guy who's been out of a job for almost 2 years, is absolutely a dinosaur, is tactically inept. But then you'll have the pundits coming out and saying, oh, he's a good manager, just watch him. And then fans like us, Aston Villa, I'm going to see the Mackhams in a way as well. Who else could you include as well? Wigan, Birmingham City, Villa, with teams he's managed, apart from Hull, which he walked out, will be having the last laugh when it all goes to shit. We'll have the last laugh when it all goes to shit. And then Blackpool fans, wouldn't surprise me if Blackpool fans were to come out and say those fans were right all along about Steve Bruce.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to join tonight's show, don't forget to smash the like. It does help the channel. So I've got 9 likes on my channel at the moment. So if you'd like to smash the like, and the same on Pete's as well, please do. And if you are brand new to the channels as well, please consider subscribing to both channels, because it is free to do so as well. Kepa went to Bournemouth on loan. I would have took him, says Brian.
I'm not a huge fan of Kepa. I mean, I don't really rate the guy, to be honest. I mean,
Wacky Angler says he's a bit of a diva. I mean, look, do you remember when he refused to come off in that final?
Carabao Cup final, refused to come off.
And Sarri went mad, didn't he?
Yep, he went absolutely ballistic. No, not Kepa, no for me.
Is Botman, Tonali and Bruno English? We bought and sold Minty. No, but all I'm saying is, yeah, okay, I don't think Eddie had a hand in bringing those players in. Tonali came in with Ashworth, so did Isak as well. Botman and Bruno were already targeted by Nixon, weren't they? So,
yep.
Foxy says, Marcus Leonardo was there for a cut price deal. We should have been all over that, similar price to Sula. Worst case scenario, yourself a double like Benfica have. Exactly, Foxy. That's
Yep.
what I was screaming for this player, Marcus Leonardo, and we should have been all over it. I mean, look, we know Pivas has gone out on loan to Willem 2 in the Eredivisie. Now, if he does play well, the centre half, could that be a thing? He comes back to Newcastle and we have bids lined up for him. I don't know, but you never know, do you? You just never know. West Brom. Who's the last player we signed directly from South America, and where is he now? Says Phil F. Directly from South America. God.
The only one I can think of really is Mickey.
Well, he come from the MLS, though, didn't he? Not direct from South America.
Yeah, they did. So, no, my mistake there.
Gutierrez didn't even come back straight from there, did he either?
No, we got Gutierrez from Real Mallorca.
Yeah. It wasn't Colaccini because he come from abroad, Spain or somewhere. Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus, I'm racking my brains trying to think now who we got from South America. Not Bassidas, is it? Are we going back that far? Christian Bassidas? Because he weren't that great, if I'm honest. I don't know. I can't think at the moment, but get it in the chat. Let us know. We had a chance to sign Vitor Roque before Barca got him for like 8 million.
One in the chat was Solano from Boca Juniors at the time.
Yes, he come from South America. Yes, Solano did. Yes, he did.
Was that the last one?
Oh, no. Rodrigo Vilca.
Oh, yeah. But he never
from the
played,
Peruvian League. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
he weren't that great, to be honest, was he? He come in with all these like bells and whistles that he was going to be the next like Solano, and he's not done nothing.
Well, he hasn't.
Newcastle United head of recruitment Steve Nixon said to be frustrated by a reduction of his responsibility since the arrival of Paul Mitchell. His future's in doubt.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they're all saying Vilca. Tino Asprias from there, yeah, but we signed him from Parma.
So that was from Syria.
Federico Fernandez, no, again, he came from a Spanish club. So
we got Ferran Fernandez from Swansea, didn't we?
Oh, yes, we did. Sorry, yes, we did. New one on me, lads, Rodrigo Vilca. You remember him? Vilca. Yeah, so look, so that's what Paul Mitchell had to say there. Now, another thing he was asked, like, can Newcastle keep Eddie Howe if England come knocking? He says, look, Mitchell said, the way I look at any interest in general is that it's an example that proves someone's doing a really great job. And I think Eddie has said this, and I'm no different. We're both proud Englishmen. I think probably my pride has been challenged working in big football in countries like France and Germany, where I've had to fight my corner pretty strong when World Cups and Euros have been going on because everyone else seems to be against me when we're watching it. I think Eddie getting recognised with a job like that, it's because of the work he's done. It's fair recognition for the really good job that he's done. So he's given Eddie a bit of praise there and saying that's probably why England's looking at him, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Can Newcastle still be number one? He said, look, deep down, don't we all want to be number one at some point? I think there's a bigger target. It's like when you say you've given 100%, but your boss says, well, actually, you can give 110%. Having that as an ambition is not a bad thing because it drives us every day to do better. We need to work towards being number one. Does he want us to be number one? Yes. Should we be scared of ambition? No. Should we thrive and challenge ourselves to get there? It's not just number one on a podium in the Premier League or the Champions League. It's number one in every department, and he's absolutely spot on. And finally, he was asked, is he confident that Eddie's happy in this new setup? Mitchell says, the last time I saw him, he was pretty happy because we'd just beaten Tottenham at home. He was chuffed to bits. I've spoken to him. Contrary to opinion, we speak every night, more or less, and every day for a minimum of once on all different topics. I think that idea of me and Eddie speaking all the way through after the transfer all the way through the transfer window is false. all the way right up to the last minute, he fully is updated and involved. Because Eddie Howe has been saying, look, for what Eddie Howe he's saying is Eddie Howe's been saying he's never been kept up to date and things like that. Well, he clearly has been kept up to date with everything going on. So that's the way I look at that. Eddie Howe does know what's going on. So he's saying that it's nothing to do with him, it's all above him. Then that's a load of tosh, because obviously Paul Mitchell's come out. It seems to me, in some parts with that interview he did, Paul Mitchell, he's sort of thrown Eddie under the bus, because he's never actually mentioned Eales one bit in any of his interview. Eales has never even been mentioned. Eddie Howe, he keeps mentioned as the head coach, and the scouting network. So to me, it sounds like they're not planning with Eddie in the long term. It could be even the short term. I mean, what do you make of that interview? Do you think it feels like he's thrown Eddie under the bus a bit?
Sounds a little bit has, but it's very strange that I'm not mentioning about Darren Eales, though.
Yeah, strange, isn't it? Phil says, Rodrigo Vilca is correct. Andrew says, Rodrigo Velcro, for some reason the name stuck. Oh, Andrew. Is Paul Gallant from there? He's recording a new album with a duet, Shakira, and going on tour with Taylor Swift. Look, Paul Gallant can't sing. Let's be honest. And look, Paul was right from Tune Review last night when it was mentioned, and Paul looked and said he was giving Paul Gallant a little bit of advice. Look, 1, you can't sing. 2, you can't play the guitar. Go and get yourself a vocalist. Go and get a record label, but not you, mate, because you can't sing. I don't know if anybody saw that. It was hilarious.
I did say that, actually.
Club definitely need a bigger and better quality scouting network. Absolutely.
That's what we're looking.
Sounds like Mr. Howe's been telling porkies, and if that's true, he will not impress the board and PIF. Absolutely not. Phil says Solano or Acuna, the last successful signings we had from South America. I think let that sink in. Yeah,
Acuna,
I like Clarence Acuna. He was a good player. I thought Eales' job was to explore sponsorships, commercial deals. No, the commercial side of it is Peter Silverstone.
Yeah, that's his job.
Mason says, I started out in TTO. Yes, you did, Mason. Directly, I meant. But, yeah, I mean, so the thing at the end of the day, we've just got to wait and see how this plays out now. Let's hope, at the end of the day, we've got to see what we can do in January. But it's all about, like Paul Mitchell said, it's not about just buying players. It's about the ability of being able to trade players, because trading players helps your FFP and everything.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, we lost Minty, which is a blow, and we can see he's playing well for Brighton, but we had no choice because it was going to be a point deduction otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking about PSR, Leicester City have won their case. Nick DeMarco won the case for them. Now, we know Nick DeMarco very well. And,
great bloke.
Now, look, Simon Jordan's slamming it. He's not happy about it. And look, I don't care what Simon Jordan says. At the end of the day, Leicester City, when these charges came about and the accounts were put out, they were not a Premier League club. They were a Championship club. They belonged to the AFL. They were not part of the FA Premier League. So how can the Premier League bring this case against them when they were not part of it? And well done, Leicester. And I just hope now things might start, but, things might start to gather pace that we can sort something out with this PSR. This PSR really does need sorting out. It's really not fit for purpose, let's be honest.
It's not.
But knowing the Premier League and Richard Masters, how, what he's like, it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to bend the rules and tighten them up. It really wouldn't.
Oh, and you've got clubs like Man U who can get away with it and get £40 million to be bailed out.
Yeah.
Just get rid of PSR completely. It should stand for pathetic, stupid rule, because it is a pathetic, stupid rule.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think Mitchell and Eels want Eddie out, says Lee?
I wouldn't say that, no.
I wouldn't say Eels as such, but I don't know about Mitchell.
If they're one of them, would they not have done it sooner? That's the only thing.
Eddie's toys out the pram, my opinion. Maybe they're just waiting until we're going on a losing streak. Maybe, who knows?
See, I know we've started great, but let's just say what if the international break will really start clicking into gear?
Let's hope so. Pete says, hello, great stream as always. I've got a non-football question you can hopefully help me with. Can I ask at the end of the show? Yeah, absolutely, mate. No problem at all. No worries at all. You ask anytime you want, mate. Waiting for Gallant to release a sound of silence on Spotify. Lee says, I'm fully behind Eddie all the way.
So am I too.
Nick DeMarco says, Julie. Simon Jordan made some good points, surprisingly. You can't charge them twice. He needs to be less stubborn, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. Problem with Leicester is when the rules will change again, that loophole will be closed, yeah. Man City used the same loophole with income by 210 million, apparently.
You what?
Andrew reckons Mitchell wants his own manager. Well, that's an interesting one, Andrew, because, do you think Mitchell does want his own manager? But I just hope after the international break we come back and we come back and play better, because that's what we need to do. We need to play a lot better than we have been.
Hopefully we'll have Cher back. Hopefully Willock's back, and possibly Wilson might be back as well.
Because we can't just keep going along like scraping games, because eventually your luck's going to run out.
It will do. I know we did. Did we get quite lucky against Spurs? In a way, we did. But having more possession of the ball, having more chances is irrelevant now unless you do something with it. Did Spurs take their chances? No. And it was us that scored it for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apart from, I know they've got injuries, but where was Son? Apart from the one chance he had, he was blocked. I didn't think he did anything. Maddison had a couple of chances, but a lot of the times he got the ball and he turned backwards with the ball.
Yeah.
And you've got to look at, for our goal, what Spurs are absolutely all over the place in the back. What is Romero doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Phil says Chelsea generated 74 million from a hotel sales to go to PSR, and it's perfectly legal. We need to sell the stadium to a sister company and lease it back for £1 a week. I mean, technically the stadium don't belong to us. That's the thing. It belongs to the council, the land.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But yeah, we can't sell the stadium, unfortunately. We own the stadium, but not the land.
That's a problem.
If we'd had a hotel, yeah, maybe we could have sold it. But we don't have a hotel. We're not like Chelsea. David said, I don't think Mitchell and Eels out there just want him to be the best coach in the world. But Eddie can Eddie see it? That's the thing. Cunha was a little bulldog, not bad for 900 grand, lol. Absolutely not. I liked him. Same as Chelsea being able to sell hotels themselves and their women's team. How is head coach not the manager? They need to be identified what's needed, targets ready for the next window, and signings done in the first week. Absolutely. Madison was lucky. He should have been sent off for that bad tackle, says Lee Kelly.
He cheats at Madison now.
Oh, he's a twat, Madison, isn't he?
I'm kind of glad in a way we didn't go in for him.
Yeah. So we're coming into the second part of the show. So we're going to turn our attentions now, because the women, now the Newcastle United women, we know are in the Championship, one level below the Super League. And this week we saw Becky Langley there she is, the manager of Newcastle United Women. She signed a new long-term contract now. It hasn't said how many years she signed, but Becky has done a fantastic job at Newcastle United Women. She's got them 2 promotions, got us to the championship. Mm-hmm. She deserves a crack at the championship. And, she's proved how well she's done for us since the ownership came in. And the ownership got the women's team, give them proper strips and everything, give them a ground to play in. The former owner didn't care about the women's team. It was an obscurity under him, but under the Saudi ownership and Amanda, who'd done a lot of work for the women, let's be honest. And look where it's got them now. In such quick time to the championship. Okay, the first season at National League, we didn't get promoted, but we did the second season. Then last season, we got promoted again, got to a cup final, the League Cup final, which we lost to #United. I was at that game. It was unfortunate. But the main goal was to get the championship. And now we're at the championship. We're just one division below the elite. Obviously one team goes up from the championship. So one team goes up. And look, we've got derbies to look forward to as well.
Absolutely,
Mackems, Durham, they're 2 derby games. We know the Mackems game's definitely going to be at St James's Park, so I think that's going to be a sellout. The away legs at the stadium are shite, unfortunately. So just make sure you wipe your feet on the way out. But yeah, look, it's gonna be a roller coaster season. Of course, we want them to get promoted. We want them to win the championship and get promoted. But it's not going to be easy, the championship. Let's be honest. It's a step up. It's a massive step up. I mean, Pete, first of all, Becky Langley signed a new deal.
Well deserved. She's been absolutely fantastic with what she's done with the women's team. She's been brilliant. And I'm looking forward to see what she can do for the new season as well. And look how the squad's been strengthened now. She's recognising what needs strengthening within the side. Unfortunately, some players are having to move on as well. And unfortunately, that have probably been there a while. But she definitely deserves an opportunity at the championship. She really, really does. And this is going to be a very interesting season for her. And of course, the women's team as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. And plus, more games at St James's Park, that's going to be cracking as well. The one against Sunderland, I can guarantee is going to be a sellout. Or it's going to have coming up to, it's going to have at least a 50,000 capacity. I can really, really see that coming. I really, really believe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the new season is going to be for them. But yeah, but I think one of the main things Becky is doing, she's really strengthening that current side.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's done a cracking job. Really has done a great job with the women, for where they were and to where they are now, probably never thought that would happen in a million years. Probably thought it was going to take a lot longer than a few years to get to the championship. But look, she's done really, really well.
Fantastic.
And
again, it's down to Ramada and Miedad for what the work they've been doing with the women's side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've made a couple of signings this week.
Yep.
First one through the door was Isabella Sibley, who we've signed from Crystal Palace Women, who are now in the Super League, by the way. She's 24 years of age, and I think she plays as a winger. If I'm not mistaken. I will tell you, but I'm sure she's a winger. Let's have a look how our last game went for Palace. That when they beat Blackburn 4-0. Yeah, so she didn't start that game. She came on as a substitute. Did she come on as a substitute? Oh, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong team there. There we are. Yeah, she came on as a substitute.
All right.
So, but yeah, look, we've signed her from Crystal Palace on loan, so see what she can do. She'll, at the end of the day, she's going to be, she's gonna know the championship, which is a good thing to have. You need that little bit of championship experience in there as well.
Yep.
So we'll see what she can do in the championship for us next season, and hopefully help us get to promotion. I mean, what do you think about that move? Good move?
Yeah, I think it's a very good move. They'll bring experience to the side as well if she's already played in the championship. So, yeah, that's that's those kind of players we really, really need as well.
Yeah.
So look where else we've strengthened. Goalkeeper positions been strengthened as well. Even though I think Grace Donnelly has been fantastic. But I think Becky knew that position also needed to have some competition there as well. And
yeah, she is a winger, by the way, Pete.
The game against AC Milan, I know it was 2-2, but they're winning on penalties as well. So
yeah,
I think this is going to be a very, very exciting season there for the women. I really, really believe it will.
Yeah. And then also, we signed a defender this week called Louis Joel, and she's joined from London City Lionesses, who was our first game. She was out of contract from last season, and we signed her on a free. The women's transfer window doesn't close until 11 p.m. on the 13th of September, so there's still quite a way. So we could still bring more players in before the window shuts. I mean, there's been links with Nikita Paris.
Interest, yeah. I've heard about those as well.
And that's going to be an interesting one if she comes in. Let's have a look at some comments. Andrew says, I'll throw this hand grenade. It's who wins the English title first, the lads or the lasses?
Oh, wow.
God, yeah. David says, just give the council a very large backhander and build a shiny new stadium on Castle Easers. Put the balustrade on the lovely new park and St James's Park site. I mean, look, it would be great if we got the stadium. Look, could you potentially see that even if St James's Park Stadium could stay there, would you give that to the women's team to play there? I would.
Yeah, absolutely, I would. Because apparently, they said if they get promoted to the WSL, apparently, I'm not sure again how true this is, apparently Kingston Park cannot be used.
Yeah.
If it's AstroTurf, apparently.
Because Arsenal and Aston Villa, I think they're using their own stadium.
I think they are. So I can't see why we couldn't use St James's Park for the women's team if they would get up into the WSL. And Scotland have equalised.
They've equalised now.
Yeah, and it's Scott McTominay.
Ah, there you go. My TV went off a while back, so because it's on the energy thing. Lee says, well done, Becky. She deserves a great job what she's doing, absolutely. There's definitely been a lot of progress in the women and youth sides, absolutely, mate. David says, what's going on at the stadium? Can this be a 6-point bagger? Let's hope so.
It'll be an interesting game of both of them.
I'm starting to get jealous of the women's team, says Colton.
Great
to see Mitchell giving the contract to the lasses coach. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, she deserves it.
Brian says, Peter, I run the Great North Run on Sunday. I'm going to try and break the record run at the Shields.
No, definitely not.
Hi, Tony and Pete. I love this channel. Smash the likes, folks. Thanks very much, Darren.
Yes, Darren.
Darren's on your channel at the moment. Why do we still have Matt Target? Good question. He's on 100 grand a week. We should be getting rid. Mason says the lasses should use Gateshead Stadium. Come on, the Jacks.
Could do. think it was mentioned on Toon Review when Sam was doing that interview with Darren.
4G pitches aren't allowed in the Women's Premier League. Foxy says, I noticed the women's squad is completely British. Surprised they haven't looked for some cheap pickups from overseas. Yeah. Lee says, give the grant the women's team as well. Use it for events on youth team. Tony has a PS3 for a TV. It goes on standby. Shut up, Brian. No, it's on energy saving. Like when it's been on so many hours, it goes off.
Yes, I think my TV does that as well. If it's not being touched,
it is a bit of a pain, but yeah. So as I say, we signed so Louis Joel as well. So we'll see how many more comes through. And I mean, the girls having these new signings are being at the stack, having their they've been at the stack, getting their photo shoots done at the stack. So, shows you the stack's getting well used as well, which is absolutely fantastic. The women are obviously training. And on Sunday, yes, they start their campaign. There we go. On Sunday, away to the London City Lionesses at Bromley FC's football ground. I still believe this ticket's still available. I'll be there. £13 a ticket. You can't go wrong with that.
Oh, definitely not.
And, look, absolutely, it's going to be a fantastic. I don't know how many Newcastle fans are going to be there on Sunday. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, so it will be. It'll be a really interesting game to see how the women get on in their first game. Let's hope we can start off with a win. That would be a cracking start to start off with a win. And let's see what we can do. I mean, look, the schedule's been announced for the Women's League Cup as well, and they're in Group A. So the home match for Everton is on Wednesday, the 2nd of October at Kingston Park, 7:45 p.m. kickoff. So are you going to go at that one, Pete?
I'll try and see what I can do. When's that one? Did you see?
2nd of October. It's on a Wednesday.
Oh, again, I'll try and get
Kingston Park.
I'll see what I can do for that one. That might be could be a game we're going to.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Wanted to see how they do against Everton. We know the men's team aren't doing very well in the Premier League for Everton, are they? But I suppose it'd be a bit different when it comes to the women's team as well. So we shall see what happens with that one. And then you've got Sunday, the 24th of November. So I'm just going to have a look now. And you have got Newcastle play Liverpool at home again on the 24th of October, and that is a 2 p.m. kickoff at Kingston Park.
Interesting on that one.
The day after we play West Ham at home at St James's Park. So, again, Peter, is that one that you may go to?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
And then obviously Man United away is at the Lee Sports Village on the 11th of December, which is a Wednesday night.
Yeah, because I would definitely like to try and get to a women's games this season. I think I only got to one last season, and that was the one where they won the title.
Yeah.
So I'm going to definitely try and get
on sale for that first game against Sheffield United on the 22nd, which is 2 weeks tomorrow. 2 weeks on Sunday, sorry. Not tomorrow, Sunday. Tomorrow's Friday. But, yeah, I mean, the season tickets for the women have sold very well. I've got mine, and I got the acknowledgement last week to say that it's been processed, so I'm just waiting for the season card to come out now. But I mean, look, for £70 sitting down, it's worth it. I took the seated area, but to be honest with you, I think it's pretty good value. 70 quid works out at a tenner a game, which really isn't bad at all.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
But as I say, these tickets, They really are selling fast. They've only got standing areas now by the looks of it. And yeah, they haven't got many left by the looks of it. So, and for the standing areas, so these are the prices as follow if anybody's interested. It's £54 for an adult. Works out £5.40 a game. If you're a senior citizen, it's £15.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a young person between the age of 18 and 21, it is £54.
Mm-hmm.
If you're under 18, it's £15. And if you're a child under 16, it is free. Sorry, it is £15. Sorry, £15. Sorry. I looked at it wrong there. But yeah, so that is £15 if you're under 18 or under 16. So look, even if you've got 2 adults and 2 children there, that's still not bad value, to be fair. So, I mean, look, it just shows you how many season tickets are sold, because when I got mine, there was lots and lots on sale, but it's, over the few weeks now, they've dwindled down to nearly nothing now. So, and the thing is, when you get your season ticket, you guaranteed your seats at St James's Park for the Southampton and the Sunderland matches as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to
be. I forgot I did go to a game at St James's Park. How did I forget about that?
Yeah, it was at the Barnsley one, Pete. Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. I forgot I went
in
to
the cup, wasn't it?
Yes. But it was the Huddersfield. I think that was the only one I went to in the league.
Wacky says the stack will need an extra triple stack to accommodate all the Toon fans who can't get into the ground.
The new stack is brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been in yet, but I'd love to have a look. Brian says, actually, I could see Kingston Park used in the WSL. I don't know who owns the ground, but I can see Newcastle buying the new pitch.
Well, it could do, possibly. But again, it's not owned by... It's a rugby ground, that's a thing as well.
Yeah. But then that pit, they can play in the top league with that, though, so I don't know. I don't know why they couldn't in the...
Possibly could.
We need to look after... hi, guys. Hi, Clarky.
Well, Clarky.
David says we need to look after the Heat, and our lasses playing in the new stadium from PIF would be a great gesture towards us Geordies. Yeah, absolutely. 2-1 Joe Linton hat-trick. Great move for Pivas to Willem too. I'm going to watch them end of next month versus Ajax, so hopefully he plays. Yeah, let's hope so. Any happy food picks, Pete, on Friday?
Oh, that show's happening tomorrow night.
Pete's only going to the lasses to look at the fit ones, says Mason.
You can bugger off with that, Mason. Co-host available on PD Prowlock channel. They'll be coming soon if Mason continues with it.
There's a vacancy. Brian says, Peter, I remember because of half time you went to the fun fair rides with John. Klopp slams Ten Hag's decision. When is a feasibility study going to be released along with the potential ground plans? That's the thing, we don't know.
We don't know yet. What's Klopp said about Ten Hag?
I don't know. I ain't seen it. Brian, so you're going to set Peter up on a date with one of them like Mason, most of the lasses live in Kingston Park? I wonder if Billy trained Chippers will be successful in application for physio roles for the lasses. Oh, God.
Right, apparently I've just had a look. Apparently Klopp's slang is slamming Ten Hag for apparently his treatment of Jadon Sancho.
Ah, right, yeah. Well, I slammed him last year about it. I said it was absolutely disgusting. The lad had mental health issues, and instead of helping the lad out, he just binned him off to the under-21s and said, go and train with the kids. That's not how you treat somebody with mental health. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, even Klopp's come out the same. He came out and says Eric Ten Hag should have backed the player, even though everyone else has lost faith in him. Klopp feels like that the Dutchman should have stood like a rock behind the English winger and helped him get back to his best. He's right.
Well said, Klopp. Yeah, he's absolutely spot on, Pete.
Because Jadon Sancho's got absolutely hung out to dry.
Oh, well and truly hung out to dry, isn't he? Absolutely. Andrews, I heard they pay 10 grand for each Lasses game to rent Kingston Park. What Yangla says, isn't there a ground around Kingston Park? Isn't there a lot of ground around Kingston Park as well?
Oh,
is it the house estate? It's near, isn't it? I think.
I know there's a lot of houses nearby.
Yeah, it's not far from the metro station.
No, it's not. No, it's
about 5 minutes, isn't it?
5-10 minute walk, I would say.
Yeah. Unrealistic optimist. Clock said Ten Hag didn't support Sancho properly. I totally agree.
Well, I
hate
haven't.
to see this, but Turkey Teeth is spot on, says Julie. Absolutely.
Yeah. You do not hang out someone to dry where someone's battling with mental health problems.
No. Absolutely. Wacky says, if a manager and a player don't get on, there's no hope. Look at Eddie with Fraser. Yeah. Brian Satin says, Sancho was not only treated like shape, but he was given a packed lunch by Ten Hag.
Well, what they're going to say if Sancho starts performing for Chelsea?
Yes, there is over the north stand towards the airport, says Andrew.
Oh.
I mean, Pete, looking ahead to the girls' game on Sunday, I think these games may be on YouTube as well.
I believe they are. I keep forgetting which channel it is, but apparently I think they are getting put onto YouTube.
I mean, how do you expect the girls to get on Sunday against London City Lionesses?
It'd not be easy, but who says they can't kick off with a win?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to see where.
I'm pretty sure it is getting streamed, but I've forgotten which channel it is, though, what the name of the channel's called again.
Yeah. Is it not the Women's Championship?
It could be.
Let's have a look. YouTube becomes a streaming partner of Barclays Women's Championship. Let's have a look. Selected Barclays Women's Championship games, along with highlights. More content will appear on YouTube. The new season will see the league's transition from FA player to YouTube, with non-Sky Sports BBC broadcasted Women's Super League and selected Barclays Championship games will now be streamed live globally on YouTube by the respective channel. So the YouTube channel, I'll get that address and I'll put that on there as well, so everybody can see what you're looking for. If I copy that link address, there we go. Right, guys and girls, I'm going to put that in the chat now. That's the YouTube channel for the Barclays Women's Championship. So if you want to watch any games on there, then, that's the place to watch it.
Yep, and that stream's already been set up for when we take on the London City Lionesses.
Yeah.
So that's been set up.
So there you go, guys, and I'll pin that to the top of the chat as well. So in case anybody's trying to do it after the show, whatever, let's hope the Lasses get. I would love to see the Lasses win promotion this season and get into the Super League season.
That would be fantastic. Who says they can't do it again for a third time?
Yeah, definitely. Says live. So what's upcoming live on the Women's Championship? And that is Newcastle's game is live on Sunday. So that's one not to miss. I mean, like I say, I'll be there. Few trains to get there, but you know what? I don't care, because at the end of the day, supporting the club, supporting the lasses, and I want to see them do well. And no doubt Adam P will be there, and Lee from Newcastle Fans
Newcastle Fans
TV.
TV, they'll probably be down there as well. Adam
Yeah.
Pearson, he goes to the pretty much all the women's games as well.
Lee says, nice one, Tony will be watching the women's football. Absolutely. I mean, look, they deserve it. So
Absolutely, they do.
Can't wait for it to start on Sunday. Leeds FC says, what's going on at the tune? I heard they may get points taken off them. Is that true? If so, why? No, we're not getting any points deducted, mate. No, we've passed PSR. It's just Paul Mitchell's come out with an interview, and he's basically saying the way we do our transfers and that needs to change. So basically saying to Eddie Howe, look, basically we've got to start looking at other markets. You can't just stay in one market, because one market will never help you. You've got to go around the markets. It's like, like say if you go on holiday and you go abroad and you go to a market and you think, yeah, that's a decent market, but I'll keep going there. But the prices keep going up. And there's another market half a mile down the road from it where the prices are maybe half or a lot cheaper than what you're paying there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to still stick by going to the same market and paying the overrated prices, or are you going to go to the other market, which is half a mile away, and pay less prices? And that's exactly what he's trying to do. We can go abroad and get players in a lot cheaper than you buy in the Premier League, for what Gui's worth, by next summer, he's going to be nowhere near worth 30 million, because he's only going to have less than a year left on his deal. So it'll be interesting. San Marino's won a game for the first time in 20 years, night, says Mason.
Yeah, but they were playing Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Even Gloggy's just put it as well.
I mean, look, I remember when Turnip, God rest his soul, by the way, Graham Taylor, because, he's no longer here, but look, he was the Turnip at the time. When we played San Marino and they scored within 9 seconds, and it was embarrassing, that, wasn't it, I mean, we came back and won the game 7-1, but that's besides the point. The point is, I think they scored the quickest game in history in the qualifying or whatever it was, and, and we came back and won 7-1, but Jesus, honestly, to have even gone 1-0 down to them was so embarrassing for a team like England, let's be honest.
Oh, goals, yes.
Julie says, thanks for the link. I've bookmarked it. Lovely.
Nice one, Julie.
I tell you what, YouTube's going to be busy on. That's probably going to be the most watched on YouTube.
Could well be.
And I think, if I remember, the Toon Review are doing a watch along for that as well. I think. I may be wrong, but I think they are. I'm sure that's what Paul said. I know he's definitely doing the England watch alongs.
Always the channel to tune in for match day lives.
Yeah, I know they're definitely doing the England game. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, why do you want to watch the England game for? They're not great." But look, it's England without Southgate now. Remember that. And I can see us being better than give the lads a chance and see how we do under Lee Carsley, who's only interim manager at the moment. It's not to say that he doesn't want the job, but so let's just give him a chance and see how he gets on, and I'm sure he'll be fine. Lee Carsley, I'm sure he will be. Julie says, like shopping at Tesco, but Mitchell wants to try Asda, Sainsbury's, Lidl, and Aldi as well. Absolutely.
Well.
Same good, but cheaper. Oh, go on, San Marino, says Julie. Poland have nicked it at the end, says Mason.
Oh.
Always makes me laugh when I hear so-called pundits and mediocre ex-players seeing Newcastle on a big club. Who else gets a capacity crowd? Absolutely. I remember when we were losing 1-0 to San Marino. Absolutely, it was embarrassing. It's like me going to the car boot sales. One different car boot sales is better than another. Cheaper deals, absolutely. Kieran Dyer on Talkshite saying we're an average club.
Oh. Did you not know you
Pete's
used to
coming with
play
his
for the
question.
club under Bobby?
Yeah.
And we were challenging, and we were playing in the
Disrespectful
Champions
prick.
League and challenging for the Champions League.
Pete says, my non-football question is, I'm going to a music event in Baker tomorrow night, and I just wondered if anyone knew of anywhere to go for a drink beforehand. As haven't been to Baker before, thanks in advance. Jesus,
Ooh.
I mean, look.
I could say, Pete, if the events say on Shields Road,
Yeah,
I would
plenty of
say,
pubs there, isn't there?
yeah, you got the Weatherspoons there, and another one that's quite nice as well and doesn't charge a lot, I would say, and that's the Post Office pub. So there's.
God, I'm drunk doing Shields Road for a long time.
I can't remember the last time, but
it's a blast from the past, I tell you. Dyer got sent off for fighting another black and white shirt with Lee Boyer, absolutely.
There you are.
San Marino, the international Mackhams. How many games are England playing Nations League? I've no clue. Well, they've got a game on Saturday away to Ireland, which is weird because Lee Carsley's played in that exact stadium for Ireland, the Viva Stadium in Dublin. And then on Tuesday at Wembley, they play Finland. Because remember, we're in Group B, because Southgate got us relegated into Group B. So Southgate relegate goes with his name. And so, look, it's a group we should win and get back to the Group A's. Group A is where we want to be because that's where you can get to the Nations League finals. Tell you the truth, I can see England lose this match with Pickford in goal. Let's hope not. Mr. Fleming won't be happy, absolutely not. There's a reason Piff are buying into the Brazil market, then Brazilians can samba. I think that's why Dyer, Bellamy, Genius haven't been invited back. Yeah, possibilities. Thanks, lad. It's at the Grove Music Venue.
I wonder where that. I'm trying to look where that is because I can't remember I don't know if I've heard of it. Right. I'm having a look. Right, there's 2 bars nearby, so it looks like it's down by where the Usburn Valley is, by the looks of it.
Oh, St Michael's Road. That's where it is. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
yeah.
Two nice bars. 2 nice bars, not far from there, and that's the Time Bar and the Free Trade In. Yep. So
yeah,
that's where it is. Or you've got also that's quite close by. I think it's the tap. What's it called? The 2x2.
You've got the Time Bar. You've got the Free Trade In.
Yes.
Yeah, and you've also got Brinkburn Street Brewery and Bar as well.
Yes, yeah, I've been there as well. There you are.
And if you want to go a little bit further, you got St Peter's Social Bar. You don't want to go that far. Too far. But anyway, take a crash on me. It's going to Baker.
Oh God.
Still miffed we didn't get a Brazilian midfielder, Jason Bruno and Paquetá. Happy we got Tonali, absolutely. Thanks for that, says Clotty. Pickford better in an England shirt than an Everton one, absolutely is. Southgate and Man U shows when Ten Hag has shown the door. Cashworth will love it. Apparently he's been in Paris with the Paralympians, so well done to Southgate. Got to see them, by the way. Great thanks, we'll give him a try. I just hope he hasn't given them advice how to win because he can't get past the final. If the two can get the players in Jan, do you think we finish going for 5th? Depends what we say in January, because January is a difficult window.
Yeah, it is.
You might bump into PG and Duncan, Baker Grove. I wonder if the punishment would be as harsh as worse. Antonio and Tonali. Also, what happened to the other Italian players that got caught? Yeah. I wonder as well. I wonder. Right, guys and girls, we've been on an hour and a half, but it's been a cracking show, and we've come to the end of this show. But Pete, what have you got coming up on your channel, mate?
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, the Crazy PD's Football Live Show is back again. With the good old food picks, of course. We'll talk about, of course, the game from last Sunday against Spurs and all of that. So we'll be dipping into more Newcastle news and other football news, of course. Chippers has rant half an hour on the show. I wonder what he's got up his sleeve for tonight. And I think we'll probably got to discuss why a certain person decided to go to Blackpool as well. But that's the crazy. Yeah. But yeah, that's the crazy show for tomorrow night. And I'll have to look into doing something. Try and look to do something early for next week before the return of the players coming back for taking on Wolves. So, but yeah, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, the Crazy PD's Football Live Show is back again.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great show, guys. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you're tuning in for that tomorrow night. And some nice food picks, some not so nice food picks. Depends what what your palate's like and what you like.
Or very expensive ones.
Yeah, absolutely. It all depends, doesn't it? So, by the way, before I do talk about what I've got coming up on the channel, by the way, it's something I just want to share with everybody. So don't leave the stream just yet, guys and girls, because we ain't finished yet. But anyway, as we know, so as I say, we know that Steve Bruce is now the Blackpool manager, which he's going to get them out of League One, probably take them down to League Two, never mind. So that's probably the way he's going to get them out of League One, because it certainly won't beat the Championship, that's for sure. No, but anyway, now he's in Blackpool, he's actually enjoying himself.
Oh, God, is it what I think it is?
This fans took a photograph, and he's actually down on Blackpool Beach. So there he is in all his glory.
Oh, God.
He's been getting a donkey ride. So, yes. So somebody saw him and spotted him and decided to take a photograph. So he's been spotted on the beach.
Oh, my word.
Like that one, do you?
Jesus, what?
That's a good one, isn't
it?
Yep. But yeah. So anyway, so don't forget, guys, if you have enjoyed what you've seen tonight, then please do smash the like. It does help the channel. So do smash the thumbs up on both channels if you can. Also, if you are brand new to either channel, then do hit the subscribe. Do join our great communities and also hit the bell notification. That tells you when we have a pre-record, any live shows or upcoming shows as well. So yeah, coming up on the channel, I've got nothing planned for tomorrow as such, but Saturday I will have the pre-match show ahead of the England game against Ireland. See who's in, see who's not playing. I expect Gordon will probably play because we know Lee Carsey likes Anthony Gordon, so he'll probably definitely start, I reckon, against Ireland. Could Livermore start? That would be interesting as well. We know Nick Pope's back in the squad, which is fantastic news as well. So that's coming up. I will be doing a vlog on Sunday from the women's games, so do keep an eye out for that as well. I'll document my journey going down there on the trains. Got various trains to get there, and I think it's about a 20-minute walk from the station to Bromley FC, which actually Bromley FC is no stranger to Newcastle fans because one of our ex-coaches is the manager there, Andy Woodman.
Yeah.
So he is the manager of Bromley FC. Right, let's go into some comments before we do go off tonight. Wacky says, whatever channel you're on, hit the likes on there, please. Thank you very much indeed. Great show. Tony and Pete says, Julie, thank you very much.
Yes,
Lee says, been a great show.
Yes,
Tony
Lee.
and Pete, big thumbs up from everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Lee, indeed. Steve Bruce wants to see the Illuminations. Goodbye and take care. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have to watch a show and catch up, Peter. First time I missed a live for a long time.
That's fine, Pete. Don't worry.
Would like Blackpool away in the Carabao Cup if we both qualify.
Oh,
wouldn't that be funny?
We haven't.
The stick you'd get.
We haven't. Oh, that would be great if we could just come up against Steve Bruce.
Yeah. Great show, guys, says Clarky. Thank you very much, mate.
Yes, Clarky.
Lots of sausages, says Julie.
There might be one
don't
already
forget to leave a like on
put in the
both
show,
channels.
Julie.
Cheers, Clarky.
Cheers, Clarky, so much.
At least as Steve Bruce can also join the circus after the match in Blackpool Tower. They need a clown. Nice one. Yes, seen it on YouTube. Which is the donkey? Well, Wacky angling his sausage for Julie. Even the donkey was trying to get away.
Yeah.
David says, looking forward to Greg's pasty in Blackpool. Do you think Brucey wear a hanky on his head and rolls up his trousers for a plodge?
Oh, God.
Anyone seen the film Sausage Party?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Is Greenpeace trying to get him back in the water, says Gary D. Well, nice one, Tony. Steve Bruce with his twin both horse. Great show, lads. Samidria says, not a Newcastle fan, but liking the stream. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Who do you support, by the way, Samidria? And says, love from India. Thank you very much indeed. If you're brand new to the channel, do hit the subscribe, mate, and do hit the likes as well. That'd be fantastic. He heard Blackpool Towers horse and Strictly Come Kebab chomping. Is it Steve Bruce's question if there was a Greggs in Blackpool?
It probably is.
Yeah. He probably has, you know. Who knows? But yeah, I'm sure he's probably already looked to say, oh, hang on, is there a Greggs? You know, in Blackpool. Who knows? He could well have been already in there. Who knows? So, yeah. What is Steve Bruce up to in Greggs? In Blackpool? Yeah, he's probably sniffed out the Greggs anyway, hasn't he? So
the kebab shops.
Good old Brucey's probably been to Greggs already. So he's probably had his bacon sandwich or his sausage rolls or whatever, or, you know. But I'm sure, as I say, I'm sure he's already been there and scoured them out.
Oh, God.
He's probably in there somewhere, but you can't see him. Well, he's not that slim, so you can't see him, is he?
No.
That was Andrew. Yeah, it was brilliant, Andrew. Is it true? Bruce's first question was, is there a Greggs in Blackpool? I support Barcelona. Nice one, mate. Rafinha got a hat-trick the other day, didn't he? There's one next to the football ground, says Leeds FC. Oh, God. Right next to the ground. Oh, he's in his glory then, isn't he?
Jesus.
That would be them sold out of bacon. Wait, I need the link to the lasses match. It's pinned in the chat, top of the chat there, David. So if you go to the top of the chat, you'll see the YouTube channel's pinned, mate. So you can get it from there. Should be pinned at the top of the chat. I did definitely pin that in the chat, so it should actually be there. So let me just double check that it is pinned. Yes, it is definitely pinned at the top of the chat there, David. So you'll see it when you go up there. Steve Bruce was on a train with a friend of mine. He had his ass out the window, and Bruce was looking out the window. He thought they were twins. Unrealistic optimist, I reckon he's a steak bake man.
Oh, God.
There's a food famine in Blackpool since Bruce arrived.
Oh, Jesus wept.
Lots of Greg shops in Blackpool. Brucey will be well fed, and kebab shops as well. Bruce doing half-time team talking Greg's. Andrew says they got an ass to add to the donkeys. Well, you know. Great stuff, says David. No worries at all. No worries at all. But look, lots to look forward to. England to look forward to on Saturday. New manager, well, new caretaker manager. So we should see a difference in tactics, maybe. We might see a little bit better attacking rather than going a goal up and sitting back for a bloody draw or whatever. Or just to get beat again. So at least we'll see somebody actually going on the front foot. Also, then we look forward. Then we look forward to the girls' game on Sunday as well.
Oh, Andrew, that's good.
People get sacked. EO always does. That's brilliant, Andrew. Fantastic comment that, mate.
God. Oh, wow.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how many's on that stream on Sunday. I bet. I reckon it's it could break records. That could.
Will do.
There'll be a lot of people sitting watching it. But yeah, I'm sure 200 of you are doing a watch along. If they don't, Pete, you could always do one, couldn't you? So
let's see what happens. I'll definitely be tuning.
Yeah,
I'm going to definitely tune in to watch it.
But you'll definitely tune in for it, yeah. Exactly. You got to tune in to see how they get on that first game.
Oh,
and then,
yeah, absolutely.
Then after Sunday, the next game's at home to Sheffield United on the 22nd at Kingston Park. So
that's it.
Anyway, guys, as I always say at every end of every show, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And I hope you have really enjoyed tonight's show because it has been a laugh and we've, it's been good fun and it's been great having Pete on. So thanks for coming on again, Pete. It's been a pleasure.
No problem, Tony.
Yeah, it's great when you can talk about not just the men's team but the women as well. Because look, the women are just as important as the men's team. It's all we're united as one. It is Newcastle United, regardless. And look, let's hope the women have a great start to the season and it continues and we get promoted to the Super League. Just go through some final comments. He'll be getting paid in donkey shit. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Cheers, Wacky, and good night, all, says Andrew. Good night, Andrew.
Take care, man.
Right. So anyway, it's a bye-bye from me.
And me.
We're the lads and the lasses.
We're the lads, we're the lasses.